Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my bullet journal video for the month of August. And I know technically today is a Tuesday because I always post my bullet journal videos on the 20th of the month, but we are having a throwback Thursday on a Tuesday, so we can call it a throwback Tuesday. It's still a T, it counts. And the throwback today is I decided to go back and recreate my very first YouTube video bullet journal setup. And that is, it's a Glee theme. My absolute favourite program ever in the whole world. It's so amazing. If you haven't watched it, I would just recommend it so much. Literally, it's just the best program ever. But it must have been, I think, in June of 2018, I did my very first YouTube bullet journal video, and the setup I did in it was a Glee theme. And I'll just insert a little clip of that really cringy video here. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I next upload a video. So this is actually my first bullet journal video. I actually started bullet journaling back in November of last year, and I actually started making a video for that, but I never got around to finishing it or posting it, and then obviously by the time I did, it's not November anymore. So I'm thinking I might do like a video of all my previous bullet journal spreads as like one long massive flip through of them all. So let me know in the comments if that's something you'd want to see. So this month for June, I've decided to do a Glee bullet journal spread. So I thought, what better than to go back and recreate it and see how far I've come over the years of my bullet journaling, and hopefully a new and improved version of the setup. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. And normally I would then say, let's move on to the time lapse. But I've actually been away the past couple of weeks, so I haven't had time this month to film a time lapse for it, which I'm actually really disappointed about because I absolutely love filming the time lapses and drawing them out. But I've already gone ahead and drawn and coloured in my whole setup, so this is it, and I hope you enjoy it. So this is my bullet journal setup for the month of August, and we start of course with the front cover page. And this is really simple, and I've just done a yellow background and I drew August and a cup of a slushy drink being thrown at the word August, and so it's like dripping all over the word, which I think turned out pretty cool. And I did a little calendar on there because I've started doing that recently, because I find that having a whole page or 2 pages dedicated just for a calendar, it was a waste of space and I wasn't really using the page. And then the page next to it, I just did a quote that says, "Don't stop believing," and I drew stars around it because that's the lyrics to the song by Journey, "Don't Stop Believing," and they sing it so many times in that program, and it's just a great quote, like, never stop believing, because if you do, then you never know what you've missed out on. So, oh, and also I might put like a picture of my previous Glee bullet journal spread on the screen for a comparison, and hopefully you can see how far I've come in the years. So the next page, dun, 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 my mood trackers and habit trackers. Now this mood tracker I think was pretty much the same as my previous Glee bullet journal spread, and it's basically 31 cups of slushies. And I do have to explain for people that have never seen Glee before. Basically the Glee Club is seen as like where all the losers go, and it's like really lame and everything. And so all of the people generally from the sports teams find the students from the Glee Club and they throw slushies at them. Kind of like, I guess in England they'd be like the equivalent of a slush puppy, I guess. But that's like quite a main theme in the early seasons of Glee. And so for each day I've got a cup with slushie in it. And each day I can colour in the slushie depending on my mood. And I've just got a few moods down there. So yeah, it just depends. And I know obviously in the programme I feel like the main slushies they have is like red or blue or something. But it'd be nice to see a few colourful variations. And then on the page next to it I've got my habit tracker. And for this I did a notice board. And this was kind of reminding me of the notice board they have in the Teacher's Lounge in Glee, where they always have some sort of bunch of advertisements or sign-up sheets or stuff. So I did it as a notice board, and each one is kind of like pinned on there, as you can see. And this is just a really good page to keep track of things you want to do. So one that I found really helpful at the moment, especially with all this hot weather we've been having, is to track my water intake. So I just really colour it in if I feel like I've drunk enough that day, or if I've drunk a little bit I'll colour it in half, and that's a really good way to see how much I'm drinking and to keep on top of things. So the next page is my August memories page. And I introduced this into my bullet journal probably a few months ago now. I saw a picture of one online and it looked really cool. And I actually love this page because it's just a place to write down some fun things you've had during the month that you want to remember. Because sometimes it's so easy to focus on all the negatives or the things that went wrong or what didn't happen. It's really easy to forget all the good things that did happen, so that's a really fun page to fill in. And I've just left it blank so you can draw or write whatever you want on it, really. It's very creative. And the page next to it is my YouTube videos ideas page. And for this, I drew out the whiteboard from the choir room in Glee. And it's kind of like a whiteboard, one of those really cool whiteboards that like slides along the shelves. And so I've just drawn like the shelves with like books and stuff behind it. And a blank whiteboard. And of course there's pens at the bottom because he always comes in. Mr. Schuster, the teacher, always comes in and writes the week's lesson on the board with the pen. So I thought that was pretty cool space to write down all my ideas for future videos. So moving on to the next page, I've got another quote page. And I don't know how easy it is to see this in this light, because of course my favourite colour is yellow, so I wanted to draw it in yellow. And there wasn't enough yellow in this spread. But it is my Bible verse of the month. And in case you can't read it, it says, and I need to look to read it, it says, "Sing and make music from your heart to the Lord." It's Ephesians 5 verse 19. And I thought that was such a lovely verse to go with my Glee theme, because obviously they're singing and making music all the time. And so you can sing and make music for the Lord, which is pretty cool to worship him. So that was my Bible verse of the month. And the page next to it is my gratitude and my prayer request page. So gratitude page, I kind of drew it out like the New Directions sign-up sheet. So the Glee Club is called the New Directions, and they have a policy where anyone that wants to be in the club can be in the club. They don't have auditions or anything. So I drew it out like the sign-up sheet. You write your name on and then you just, basically you're in it. Which I think is pretty cool, but also it's kind of a bit risky because you never know if you're going to have a really bad singer join or something. But I drew it as a sign-up sheet, so each day I can write down something I'm thankful for. And then underneath I've just got my prayer request page section. So I found a lot of use out of that last month. And it's a great space to write down things that people have asked prayer for, or things that I would like to ask people to pray for, so that I don't have to keep remembering them all the time. And I can look at them every day and think, oh yes, I'll pray for that, which is so cool. It's a pretty cool page, and it is my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 page. And I did this in my original bullet journal. Write down 5 of your favourite songs, 4 of your favourite moments, 3 favourite guest stars, 2 favourite characters, and 1 favourite ship. My 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you have watched the series and love it as much as I do, let me know in the comments down below what your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 would be. Or just let me know what one of the sections would be if you can't think of all 5. So I thought I'd just quickly go through them all. My 5 favourite songs, and it was really interesting to see what my opinion was now compared to what it was 3 years ago. So my 5 favourite songs was, of course, Don't Stop Believing. They sung that so many times, but it never gets old because their version is just amazing. Poker Face, the one that Rachel sings when she meets her mum, and her mum is played by Idina Menzel, and wow, she is just amazing. She has the most incredible voice, and oh, it's just so good. And I love that song. Just such a good take on the song. It's so good. And Crazy You Drive Me Crazy from the, I think, is it the Britney 2.0 episode? It's Jake and Marley when they're in the bleachers and they're singing with each other, and I just think that is such a good song. And also I love Marley's voice, so I think that's a really cool song. I never get bored of listening to that. What If God Was One of Us? This is a new entry to the list, and I recently started rewatching the episodes of Glee, and where am I up to? I think I'm up to like midway through season 2, and I completely forgot about the grilled cheese this episode, which is basically when Finn burns his grilled cheese and the face of Jesus appears on it, which is so random, and he for some reason thinks that like Jesus is speaking to him through the sandwich, but everything just really happens to be a coincidence kind of thing, rather than the grilled cheese, or the grilled cheeses as he calls it. But that's one of the songs in the episode, and I forgot about that song, and I absolutely love that song. And the last song is another entry on my list, and it's called It's Time. And this is the one where where Kurt comes to visit Blaine back at their school, and he sings this in the outdoor courtyard area, and everyone's like using the cups to like make a cool beat for the song, and it reminded me of the Cup song from Pitch Perfect, but it's kind of got that vibe to it. But I absolutely love that song, and I'd so love to be like one of the people in the background playing with the cups. So they're my 5 favourite songs. 4 favourite moments. I'm going to try and speed this up because we're going to be here forever otherwise. 4 favourite moments is when Will and Emma get married in the choir room, because I think that's just such a beautiful, sweet moment. The whole episode of Nationals at the end of season 3, because just the songs in that are so good and all the storylines are amazing. Also at the end of season 3 when Will is telling everyone to prepare a song to say goodbye because the seniors are leaving, and he sings Forever Young to everyone in the choir room. That's quite an emotional moment, so I think that deserves to be on there. And my 4th one is, oh goodness, it must be in season 4 or season 5 maybe, and the New Directions have gone to one of their competitions, and Marley goes outside and Mercedes comes and finds her and basically just tells her to never give up on her dreams, and it is just like the most amazing moment ever, because like that is just so sweet, and the character Marley is so talented and she just doesn't believe in herself very much, which I can relate to a lot to. So I thought that was a really nice moment. And my 3 favourite guest stars, dun dun dun. My first one is, of course, Idina Menzel, because she is amazing and I love her voice. The second one is Neil Patrick Harris, because he was only in it for a couple of episodes, or was it even just only 1 episode? But he sings, what's the song? He sings Dream On with Matthew Morrison, who plays Will Schuester, and they're auditioning for the main part in Les Mis, and they sing Dream On, and he hits that high note, And I'm like, oh my goodness, that is amazing. He has just got a phenomenal voice. And so I absolutely loved when he was singing on the show. My third one is Gwyneth Paltrow, because I think she is amazing and just her voice is so cool. So my two favourite characters, dun, dun, I've actually gone for Quinn and Marley. Marley I've gone with because I can relate to her quite a lot, in the sense that she doesn't have very much self-confidence in herself, but everyone tries to tell her that like she's really good and don't give up and stuff. And I just think she's really pretty and she is so cool, and so she's one of my favourites. My second one is Quinn. My second favourite character was really hard to pick out because I basically love them all and it's really hard to choose. But I think that sometimes she doesn't get enough solos or enough just basically like recognition of how much she's been through as a character. So I think that's really cool. And then of course my one favourite ship, and this has never changed and it never will change. My favourite ship is of course Wemma, Will and Emma, because they are so cool, and it's so frustrating when you have like the two main characters of a storyline and you really want them to get together, kind of like Jim and Pam, and just different things happen at like different times and then it never works out and you're like so sad, and then eventually, spoiler alert, they get together at the end and it's amazing. And that is just my favourite ship. So moving on to the last page is my weekly spreads page, and annoying because in the month of August the first week has only one day and that's a Sunday, and I didn't want to waste 2 whole pages of a spread. So I've just done a couple of the days in the previous month beforehand and then just Sundays, and I kind of did them as like pianos and then like the date on the end. So I did that on this next page as well for the week, which I thought was pretty cool. And then the page after it is another weekly spread, but a kind of a different layout. And I did these boxes and you can kind of tell behind it, but I kind of tried to draw the choir room as the background and have the boxes over the top. And I think it came out pretty cool and I'm quite impressed actually. But so that is my weekly spreads, and then they're basically just the same going throughout, you know, so nothing like that interesting. I haven't finished that one actually. Insight into my bullet journal, because I've been so rushed and I wanted to get this video out. I didn't finish it, but that's okay. I'm quite impressed that I did manage to get 2 quote pages in though, because back in the old days, I say the old days, back like 3 years ago, when I first started making bullet journal videos, I always used to be so rushed and unprepared that I always forgot to draw in the quote by the time I came to film it, and I'd always be like, oh, but I'll put one in there after I film this and I might post it on Instagram, and then I'd never remember to post it on Instagram, and sometimes I'd remember to draw the quote and then sometimes I wouldn't. I'm getting better. Slowly I'm getting better. I do have to admit I finished it right before I started filming this because I forgot, but we're getting there. So that was my August bullet journal setup. I'm just gonna like kind of scroll through them so that you can see. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. As I said, let me know what your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is in the comments down below, and let me know of any other bullet journal themes you'd like to see me create, because I love to hear your wonderful ideas and see your creations come to life. And if you do decide to recreate my bullet journal spread, then feel free to tag me on Instagram, because I'm on Instagram a lot more these days. Well, I try to be anyway. And yeah, that is my bullet journal set up for August. So thanks a lot guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video, and I'll see you on the next video.